everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ellie Cooper and I am a yoga teacher and studio owner in Christchurch, New Zealand. I own Kula Studio, so we'd love to see you in studio if you are ever in our city and would like to come practice. Today's practice, we are going to be working through a little bit of a flow today. So something relatively shortish. It's going to get into the hamstrings, it's going to get into your calves, it's going to get into your hips and your spine. This could be a really great flow to do, especially if you're post-run, or maybe you've gone on a really big hill walk or a big tramp. This could be a really beautiful practice to do. Or maybe you've been sitting on a plane for ages. Also great for that. Now, that being said, I'm going to get you to join me on your mat. You don't need any props today, but come on and meet me in child's pose. When you're ready, give yourself a moment just to get yourself settled in towards the shape. So it could just be toes together, knees wide apart. You could also take embryo, knees together, arms reaching back behind you. But when you're ready, just give yourself a moment just to land. That could look like forearms down to the ground. You could catch opposite elbows with opposite hands as you rest the forehead down towards the ground. And then from here, you're just going to take a few deep breaths. A moment just to settle the hips down towards the heels. Space and time to feel the forehead draw further down towards the ground. It could also be nice here to think about sending the breath in towards the upper back as you give yourself 3 deep breaths just to arrive to your mat, to consciously connect to where you are now, your practice, your space, and your time. This movement is a gift to you to give yourself space, to give yourself nourishment, to give your body the love it deserves. Find one more deep breath into the upper back. And an exhale out to soften. And then when you're ready, come up towards your palms. Meet me here, knees out wide. We're going to come towards the tips of the fingers. Now, from here, we're going to find just gentle sways of our spine from side to side and left to right. A little bit of a snake-like motion here, if you will. So maybe you want to get your shoulders involved. Maybe it feels nice here just to simply sway, just noticing what is it like to transfer your weight from shin bone to shin bone. But when you're ready, take a moment to find just a gentle pause in towards the center of the mat. And then as you breathe in, roll your shoulders back, tilt your tailbone to the sky as you reach your sternum out towards the front of the room. On the exhale, ground down through your fingertips, arc your upper back as you tuck your tailbone under, dropping the chin in towards the sternum. And then inhale when you're ready, tilt the tailbone, reach the heart and out forward for a cow-like shape. And on the exhale, round the spine, tuck everything into center for a cat-like shape. And then from here, we're just gonna find a couple more rounds, just simply working through the hips, the spine, maybe noticing what's here. As you find one more round to reach the spine forward into cow, and then to press away as you arc the spine, as you give yourself space to move into cat. Gently coming back in towards a neutral spine. Plant down through your palms. Slowly lift yourself back up and towards your tabletop. And give yourself a moment here to maybe wiggle out through the hips, the shoulders, pitter-pattering out through the feet as you find a bit of fresh blood flow down through the legs. A moment to really just let this be kind of organic. So it might be nice here just to start to sway yourself up and around the mat, to bump your rib cage from side to side, to move your sternum out and over your fingertips as you allow yourself just to simply sway. A moment here just to figure out how are things moving. How does it feel in my body? A couple more breaths here just to work your way up and around. And then eventually when you're ready, give yourself a moment to pause. Start to bring the left thigh up towards your chest, and then step the left foot outside wide to the outside of the left hand. From here, you can stay planted to palms, or you could lift up towards fingertips as you walk them out in front of you, giving yourself a moment just to start to sway yourself up and down. Moving the left knee over the big toe as you come forward, pulling your hips back towards your heel as you come in towards the back of your mat. So just moving yourself north and south a couple of more times, working your way in towards the hip. Another breath in and out. And then when you're ready, give yourself a moment, sink the hips down and heavy. Plant down through your right hand as you lift your left palm up towards the ceiling, rotating your spine over towards the right thigh. A moment here to push the palm in towards the earth as you give yourself a moment to lengthen out fingertip to fingertip. And then when you're ready, left hand comes back underneath your shoulder. Walk your fingers back towards you as you find space in your half Hanuman. Once you come into half Hanuman, left leg is long, left toes are pulled in, and find a little swivel of the left thigh bone in its socket from side to side. Almost like you're trying to rotate the left leg from one side of the mat and then over to the other. But the movement is coming specifically from your hip joint as you give yourself space just to gently maneuver side to side for one more breath in and out. And then when you're ready, crawl your way back forward towards the front edge of the mat. Come back towards that low lunge, hips low, sternum reaches forward. Now from here, we exhale to press back as we arc the upper back, coming in towards a cow-like shape, but so we contract ourselves up and in. And then inhale, when you're ready, we expand out wide, tailbone tips behind us as the sternum reaches out and forward. And exhale, we press away as we come back in towards a cat-like shape through the spine. Breathe in, expand outwards. And exhale, press back as you contract in. Inhale, when you're ready, come back and towards more of a neutral spine and towards your lunge. Left palm picks back, plants down, underneath your shoulder, back toes tuck under, back knee hovers, left arm lifts you up high to the sky, this time as you find space to rotate in your lunge. Now from here, hug the outer hips together as you keep reaching tall, fingertip to fingertip. And then when you're ready, land the left hand down towards your mat. Send your gaze out and forwards. We take a big step up towards the top, meaning up and towards a forward fold. Both feet land underneath the hips. From here, it might be nice to find a gentle ragdoll as you catch opposite elbows with opposite hands. A moment here just to simply sway yourself from side to side and left to right. Belly graces the thighs as the back of the neck stays long. A couple more breaths just here to sway. One more breath in and out. And then when you're ready, come back into center, release the fingertips down towards the ground. Start to peel your spine up towards standing or Tadasana as you stack vertebrae on vertebrae. As you lift all the way up, we inhale to reach the arms up high to the sky. And we exhale to cactus through the elbows as we slide the shoulder blades down the back, opening up through the front of the heart. Inhale, arms reach us up and high. Exhale, palms connect and towards the center of our heart as we breathe out, hinging at the hips to find our fold. Inhale your way into a halfway lift, fingertips slide up your shins, collarbones reach forward, tailbone tips back. Exhale, find space to fold. And from your forward fold, bend in towards your knees, plant down through your palms, step your way back and towards your tabletop. From here, give yourself a moment to bump the toes together, knees split out wide as you sit back hips to heels. Then we walk the palms over towards the left side of our mat. Maybe the left hand stacks on top of right as you bow the head down towards the ground. 2 deep breaths in towards the right side of the rib cage as you feel yourself anchor into the shape. And then when you're ready, press away and bring yourself back into center. Walk the palms all the way over towards the right side of your mat. Left hand stacks as you dip your chest low. Again, 2 deep breaths in and out as you find space to melt in. And then when you're ready, gently come back and towards center. Palms land underneath your shoulders as you pull yourself up into tabletop. Right foot steps out wide to the outside of the right hand. And then once again, we find these little maneuvers of the hips up and down, north and south, as we start to reach our way forward and pull ourselves back. Noticing how does it feel in the hips? How do the hamstrings feel? Can you even feel it in towards your knees? What feels interesting to explore? You have a couple more breaths here as you work your way up and down, north and south. Allowing yourself to discover, explore, be interested in. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, start to lean the hips down towards the front edge of your mat. Left palm plants down as the right arm peels you up and open. And again, from here, we take a moment to land in towards our twist. Left hand grounded to the earth as you reach up with the right fingertips, finding a deep breath in. And then on the exhale, the right hand returns back down towards the ground. From here, we lean the chest out and forward to the front of the mat. And then as you breathe out, press the earth away with the front foot, draw the hips back, arc the upper back as you tuck everything in towards center for cat. Inhale, expand the chest bone out towards the front of the room as you tilt the hips back behind you for cow. Exhale, press away as you arc everything in towards cat. Inhale, lean in, lift up. And exhale, press away as you arc. One more time, inhale, lean it out as you tip. And exhale, press away as you arc. Inhale, when you're ready, lean your hips down and out towards the front of the room. And then when you're ready from here, tuck your back toes under, lift and hover off the back knee as you squeeze the glutes, lift the right arm up high to the sky. A moment to stay, to be solid in where you are, pulling the right shoulder back in space. And then when you're ready, right hand returns back underneath you, gaze moves out and forward to the front of the mat. Step your way up and towards your fold as you find space here to move in towards ragdoll. Opposite hands catch opposite elbows, back of the neck stays long as you continue to sway from footprint to footprint. Another round of breath here to get solid through the feet, to feel yourself bow heavier down towards the ground. And then when you're ready, find space to pause, release the fingertips down to the ground. Once again, we find that slow roll up through the spine as we stack vertebrae on vertebrae. Eventually, we all meet in towards Tadasana. Arms lift us up high to the sky. And exhale, cactus the elbows, send the shoulder blades down your back as you lift up and open with the sternum. Inhale, arms sweep back up high. Exhale, hands back and towards heart center as you breathe out and start to fold. Palms land down underneath you. This time we step back as we move our way in towards plank. Take a moment to get solid and steady. Then when you're ready, shift forward on your toes. Lower down to your knees or in one piece as belly hits the earth. Give yourself a moment to land. And then on the next breath in, squeeze your glutes, roll your shoulders back, and lift the heart forward, coming in towards your cobra. Exhale, gently maneuver the spine back down towards the ground. Inhale to tuck toes under. Exhale to press yourself back and towards downward facing dog. Take a moment here just to walk out through the heels, feeling them sink heavy down towards the ground. Maybe you play with one, and then maybe you play with dropping the other. Wherever you are, keep the palms connected down towards the ground, allowing your heels to sink heavier to the earth. When you're ready, come in towards some semblance of a pause, and then from here, we send the gaze out and forward. We arc the upper back like cat as we pull the left thigh in towards our belly, shifting our shoulders over our wrists, and then stepping the left foot out and lightly towards the outside of the left hand. Once you arrive, stay lifted off the back knee. Inhale to peel yourself up and open. Left arm picks up to the sky. On the exhale, drop down towards the right heel. Maybe the left arm moves back behind you as you sink the hips down to the ground, coming in towards your high horizon lunge. Exhale, press down through the back foot as you lift up and over. Left hand comes back down underneath you. Crawl your fingertips back in towards you as you set up for your extended pyramid. Left foot presses into the ground, right heel stays lifted possibly as you pull the left hip back and then fold towards the inner left thigh. A deep breath in and an exhale out. Inhale when you're ready, bend in towards the left knee, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Give yourself a moment to get steady as you drop the back knee down, maybe a little bit towards the mat, finding a bit of a hover here. Reach your right arm out long in front of you. Right knee drops down as you find a double bent leg lunge, pulling the left fingertips back, finding a bit of rotation here through the spine. Inhale when you're ready, flip your right palm to the ceiling. Left hand comes towards the right glute. Right arm reaches you up and over as you stay solid through the hips, opening up space to the right side of the body. And then when you're ready from here, right hand comes back out and forward, left arm reaches long, right knee rests down towards the ground, right hand lands down towards the mat. Left arm reaches back behind you as you come in towards a twist. Left fingertips reach to the back of the mat. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you squeeze the right heel into your sit bone. Maybe the left hand comes towards the top of the right foot for twisted lizard lunge. Maybe you come onto the outer edge of the left foot, staying as you are as you pull the shoulder blades back. Maybe it feels nicer here to drop the left shoulder in towards center as you take the gaze down towards the ground, hugging your left heel in just a little bit closer. Wherever you are, we stay for another deep breath in. And another exhale out. When you're ready, let go of the toes. Left hand comes back down underneath you. Tuck the back toes under as you lift and hover off the back knee. Step your left foot back in line to meet the right, and then come in towards your vinyasa. Lowering your way down towards the ground, finding cobra or up dog. Wherever you are, glutes stay engaged as you lift the collarbones to the front of the mat. Exhale, gently maneuver your way back down towards the ground. Inhale to press back in towards downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment to arrive, to find that gentle pedal out through the feet, dropping one heel heavy and then over to the other as you bend through the knees. One more round of breath here before we head on to the other side. From downward facing dog, hug your right thigh in towards you, arc your upper back as you move the shoulders over the wrists. Step the right foot outside and lightly to the outside of the right hand as you drop the left knee down to the ground. From here, left palm plants, right arm peels you up and open. We hover off the back knee. And then when you're ready, we find high horizon lunge once again. Left heel drops down to the ground, the hips dip as the right arm reaches to the room back behind you. And then inhale, squeeze the glutes, lift up and over as the right hand returns back down towards the ground. From here, walk the fingertips in towards you as you come in towards your extended pyramid. Right foot lands heavy to the mat as you pull the right hip back in space. Give yourself a moment to stay as you fold in, finding one more deep breath in. And an exhale out. And then when you're ready, rebend in towards the front knee. Inhale to sweep the arms up for high crescent lunge. Find a bit of buoyancy, a bit of a drop through the back knee as you kind of give yourself a moment just to arrive. And then when you're ready from here, left arm reaches you out and forward. Right arm takes you back towards the back of the mat as you find yourself in towards a twist. As you stay, give yourself a moment to hug the outer hips together. Bring the right hand towards the back of the left glute. Left arm reaches you up and over as you find space to breathe and towards the left side of the body. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, pull your way out and towards your twist. Left knee drops down towards the ground. Left hand re-lands down towards the mat. We peel ourselves up and open as the left heel squeezes in towards the sit bone and the right arm extends long towards the back of the mat or the room. From here, you can stay. You can also grab hold of the left foot with the right hand as you open your way into your twisted lizard. You could also pivot the chest bone down towards the ground as the gaze follows. Wherever you are, 2 deep breaths in and out. And then when you're ready to let go of the toes, release the bind, right hand comes back down towards the ground. Back toes tuck under as you lift and hover, right foot steps in line to meet the left. From here, we move our way through our vinyasa, being articulate, paying attention to how we're moving as we flow through cobra, up dog, making our journey back towards downward facing dog. Once you arrive in towards down dog, walk your hands back towards your toes, heels bump down towards the ground. When you're ready from here, we find a little malasana. Heels bump in, toes point out as you drop your hips low. A moment here to bring the palms together as you gently press the triceps into the thighs and the thighs press into the triceps. Lift up and out of the rib cage as you stay. For one more deep breath in. And an exhale out. And then when you're ready from here, press down through the feet, lift the hips up, re-heel toe the feet back underneath you. Left hand meets underneath your sternum, right arm peels you up towards the sky, left knee bends as you move the gaze towards the fingertips. Right hand drops underneath your sternum, right knee bends, left arm picks up, gaze follows the fingertips as you look up to the ceiling. And then back towards your fold. From your forward fold, walk your hands back out in front of you as you come in towards down dog. A moment here to pause, to settle, to move the chest closer towards the thighs as you sink the heels heavy down to the ground. And then we repeat on the other side. Left knee draws in towards you. Upper back arcs as you step the left foot and outside wide to the outside of the left hand. Once you arrive, back knee drops down. Left arm picks you back up towards your twist. Tuck your back toes, hover off your back knee. Left arm reaches to the back of the room. Maybe you come onto the outer edge of the right foot as you come into your high horizon lunge once again. Squeeze the hips, left arm arcs up and over. Walk your fingertips closer in towards you as you find extended pyramid. Maybe it's nice here to have the left leg long as you pull the left toes in towards your shin. Wherever you are, one more deep breath in. And on the exhale, bend in towards the left knee, left foot lands. Arms sweep you up high to the sky, high crescent lunge. Find a moment to stay, to find your buoyancy. And then open up your twist, right fingertips, reach forward, left hand reaches back behind you. And then when you're ready from here, left palm towards the glutes, right arm reaches you up and over as you find your back bend. Nice work. When you're ready from here, come back up and towards your twist. Right knee drops down towards the mat. Right hand plants. Left arm lifts you up high to the sky as you open and rotate, finding your twisted lizard lunge. Right heel draws in towards the right sit bone as maybe the left arm reaches back for the toes. Maybe you stay disconnected from toes to heel. Maybe you keep squeezing the heel into your sit bone, or maybe you find your twist. If it feels good, dropping the left shoulder down as the gaze pivots to the mat. Finding space here to be, to explore, to notice what is it like in this quad. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, release the right toes. We add on just a little. Left hand walks down towards the mat as we crawl our way back into half Hanuman once again. Left toes flick in, sternum reaches out. And then when you're ready from here, crawl it back forward towards the top edge of your mat this time. Gaze moves out and forward, back knee hovers. Give yourself space to step up and towards Malasana. Again, from here, give yourself a moment just to arrive, to get heavy through the feet, taller through the spine. If it feels good, you can come in towards a little crow, especially if you like that in your practice. Maybe you walk yourself back a little bit so you've got more runway. Wherever you are, if you're coming into crow or you're staying in Malasana, give yourself the capacity to find your breath, to move your gaze out and forward, maybe to hug the heels in towards your sit bones, as you find balance through the fingertips. And then when you're ready, come out of your crow as you land back in towards Malasana. Right fingertips reach out wide towards your right toes. Left arm lifts you up high to the sky. A deep breath in towards your twist. And an exhale, left fingertips land. Right arm picks you up high to the sky. Deep breath into length. Exhale to sturdiness as you find center. Palms come back down towards the ground. Pick up your hips, either hop, step, walk, or make your way back towards plank as you shift your way through your vinyasa. Cobra, up dog, whatever feels good is right. But when you're ready, move back in towards downward facing dog. And then from here, once again, gaze moves towards the fingertips. Right thigh pulls in as the shoulders shift over the wrists. Right foot steps outside wide to the outside of the right hand. Left hand stays grounded, left knee drops. Right arm picks you up as you make your way into your twist. Retuck the back toes as you hover off the back knee. Come into high horizon lunge again. Knife edge of the left foot as the right arm reaches long and back behind you. Arc your way up and over as you glide your way back to your extended pyramid, finding the fold to the inner right thigh. Maybe the right toes pick up and in this time. And then when you're ready, walk it back out and forward. Inhale, arms up to the sky, high crescent lunge. Exhale, find your way to your twist. Both arms reach you forward and back. Right hand moves towards the sit bones. Left arm picks you up as you find the capacity, once again, to breathe, to stay, to be in the thick of it. And then when you're ready, back towards your twist. Both fingertips pull you north and south. Drop down through the back knee. Left hand lands underneath your left shoulder. Right arm picks you up to the sky. Left heel pulls in as the right arm reaches towards the back of the left foot. Shoulder blades pull onto the back body as you open. Or you exhale, pivoting your right shoulder down to the ground as the gaze follows. Wherever you are, we notice. We take the time to look at, to be with as we study our breath. And then when you're ready, try not to slingshot out of it, but release the toes down towards the ground. Right arm arcs up and over as you flow your way into half Hanuman. Right leg goes long, right toes pull in. A moment here to stay, to be steady in the breath once again. And then when you're ready, crawl your way back out and forward, back toes tuck under, back knee hovers, left foot steps up to the outside of the left hand. We find Malasana once again, heels in, toes out as we sit low. A moment to stay steady. A moment to find your way through your crow. Palms down. Try to land the knees to the backs of the triceps as you set yourself up. Hugging the ground with your fingertips. Leaning the chest out and forward. Send the gaze out and forward as you pull the heels into your sit bones. Hugging the elbows in together as you stay steady. And then when you're ready, find your way back towards Malasana. A moment here to maybe find a little bit of a twist, more rotation through the spine as you reach the left arm up, extending the right fingertips out, more weight into the right footprint as you lift up and out of your rib cage. And then over towards the other side, left hand down, right fingertips peel you up and open. One more deep breath in and out as you lift up through the rib cage. And then exhale back into center, palms land. When you're ready, make your way back towards plank. Step, hop, walk, jump, do what you got to do as you journey your way through your last vinyasa. And when you're ready, come back towards your downward facing dog. This time here, walk the hands back in towards you. A moment when you're ready to cross the left foot behind the right, coming all the way down towards the ground, towards your seat. A moment here to get comfy as you pull the feet out in front of you, finding your Tadasana shape, so heels bump out. And then when you're ready from here, give yourself a moment, find a little sway in the sit bones, get comfy. And then when you're ready, slide the hands underneath the bottoms of the feet. Breathe in as you lift the sternum out, tilting the tailbone behind you. Exhaling to move the elbows in front of the shins as you bow. Deep breaths in and out. And you find a little roll of the neck from side to side as you stay and linger. Sending your breath up and towards the upper body as you find space to be here just for a moment or two more. And then when you're ready, gently give yourself space to rise back up towards your seat. From your seat here, we'll find a couple of more stretches either side, then we'll find space just to really chill out. Left leg extends out long to the outer edge of your left side of your mat. Right foot pulls in towards the inner thigh. When you're ready, we'll find a Janusarasana, or one-legged forward fold. Tilting the tailbone to the sky as the sternum once again reaches to the toes. When you're ready, you find space to lean in, palms heavy to the earth. Maybe hands behind the calf. Maybe you find space here to round the upper back as you drop the gaze down towards the ground. A moment here just to hang heavy, to surrender in towards the gravity that pulls us closer towards the earth. And it helps us drop anchor in the stormy seas. So you find space for the body to settle. One more deep breath in. And out. When you're ready, gently press down as you lift yourself up. Take a little spin over towards the right as the left hand finds the right knee. Right fingertips drop back behind you. Breathing in to pull your chest bone towards your right knee so you get nice and tall. And then exhaling to gently drop the right shoulder behind you as maybe the gaze follows over towards the right fingertips. 3 deep breaths in and out here. And then when you're ready, gently unwind your spine back forward. Shoot the right leg out long beside you as you find space to swap. Left sole of the foot comes towards the inner right thigh. When you're ready, twist your way over towards the right leg. Tilting the tailbone back behind you, reaching your heart towards your ankle as you find the capacity to find space to fold. Give yourself a moment to find the stretch that feels right for you. Maybe it takes a minute or two or a couple of goes to drop into what does feel good. And once again, wherever you are, a few deep breaths. Reconnecting back to that sense of space, center, a sense of ease. And eventually, when you're ready, slowly unwind your way back up and out towards an upright spine. Gently take your twist over towards the left, right hand towards the left knee, left hand drops behind you. Breathing in to grow tall as you pull the right side of the rib cage towards the left knee. Maybe rotating the head to take a look and a little gander over the left shoulder. Pulling it back in space as you stay. And then when you're ready, you give yourself space to unwind up and out of the shape. A moment here to pull both feet in towards you as you scoot yourself maybe forward and coming down towards your back, slowly rolling your way down. A moment here to heel toe the feet to the outer edges of your mat as you take a gentle swish and a gentle sway of thigh bones from side to side and left to right. Eventually, in time, when you're ready, dropping the thigh bones heavy all the way over towards the left. Finding a position for the arms to stretch out long. To maybe stack the left ankle on top of the right thigh as you pull it closer towards the earth. Maybe you collect the shoulder blades on towards the back as you give yourself a few more breaths here to land and settle. Maybe you find a little wiggle through fingertips. Maybe a little scrunch up of the nose before you really settle your way in towards stillness. 5 more deep breaths in and out. And then when you're ready, gently unstack your ankle from your thigh. If you have it stacked, knees return to center as they drop heavy all the way to the right. Again, you can stay here. You can also pick up the right ankle as you stack it on the left thigh, pulling yourself closer towards the ground as you resettle into your breath, allowing your body to have a sense of melting in towards the mat beneath you as you give yourself the capacity to lean into rest. And then eventually when you're ready, pulling yourself back in towards center, feet re-land heavy. We'll find one last happy baby together before I leave you in Shavasana. Pulling the thigh bones in towards you, either two peace fingers on both hands, grab for the big toes, or maybe you grab for the outer edge of the feet with the hands. A moment here just to pull the sacrum a little closer to the earth as you reach the heels high to the sky. A moment to maybe find a little sway if that feels good, or just to simply drop into center, into stillness when you're ready. Lengthening the tailbone down towards the mat. Maybe shifting thighs closer to the armpits. A simultaneous lift of the heels and pull of the sacrum, almost like you're being pulled into the future and the past. And yet somehow, some way, we find some resemblance of center. Some resemblance of present as we loop back into the breath. As we land for just a few more moments in time. And eventually when you're ready, slowly, kindly let go of the feet. Maybe draw the heels in and then release as you bring the feet down to the ground. A moment to extend your legs out long, hands rest heavy by your sides as you find your journey to Shavasana. Now your Shavasana is where I leave you today. So if you'd like to get super comfy and cozy, please do. If you have to skip on to the next thing, that is also more than welcome. But just give yourself a moment in time to land into a position that feels restful, at least for a few moments. But wherever you are, however this video finds you, I hope you feel a little bit more centered, a little more restored, maybe a little more stretched out. But thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. I really hope I get to see you back on your mat again very soon. Thank you, everyone. Peace, and have a beautiful rest of the day wherever you are. See you next time.